na 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 na.
Yeah.
It's Boss Nation Music.
Zach G.H. Zabi on the beat, oh.
Hey, you and I, baby, let's fly.
Baby, baby, you look so fine. Baby, come make I show you some love, baby. Everything that you don't want, I'll do for you, baby, you dey rock me, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Always, you dey make up my day, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Baby, you dey rock me, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Always, you dey make up my day, way you dey put up a smile on my face.
Okay, baby, smile for me, make I die for you. Oh yeah, me fame party, so who knew I cry for you? Me from Wafache, it's just me and you. Oba Pama feel more, one train, one said you're sorry, me name to me jeans, so, see me so, but me so, two don't go me so, you're fan to form Boko, Nipani Masamoka. Now go de Allah, Sawama, me Obapa, Yame Pemisaka, Minchamo Bimfa, Saga, Unya Odia Fakotonte, me your one dia, me we say Puabeche, and I'm a young we a men from a Saint-Che, or Doc for Fred, the my never true love never die, Makoma your paradise. You die, I die, you live, I live, your air, I breathe, it's you, I see, no one else.
Baby, you dey rock me, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Always, you dey make up my day, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Baby, you dey rock me, way you dey put up a smile on my face. Always, you dey make up my day, way you dey put up a smile on my face.
Honey, I'm home, come give me a hug.
Hello, lovely viewers. You are currently watching GHL Media. We are at Leonard's Hill Hospital in Manhattan, and today is going to be great. We have an inauguration of the Ghana American Sterile Processing Professionals, and we have all the the stakeholders, the figureheads, and we're going to interview them. So stay tuned, and we're going to be right back. Okay, thank you and welcome you all to GHL Radio. My name is Catherine Kujo, known as Key Mama. So, what is your purpose, or who are you in this organization? Can you tell us about the background of this event that's coming up today?
All right. My name is Isaac Otu Mensah. I'm a sterile processing professional, currently working as a manager in one of the hospitals in New York City. We've been in this industry for quite some time now, since we came to America, and we've seen that back at home, people are lacking behind this advancing technology. So every year, our mother association, which is ISHM, which stands for International Institution of Healthcare Central Service Material Management, happen to meet annually to hold an international conference. And we happen to collaborate and set up an association like this to bring together all Ghanaians and Africans in this industry so that we can try to influence policy decisions in Ghana and the entire Africa, and have this sterile processing activities be introduced in Ghana.
My name is John Agla. I am actually the communication director of GASPPRO. I'm also the director for Leonard's Hill Hospital Sterile Processing Department. We're here today, as my brother said, we're here to integrate this great association, Ghana American Sterile Processing Professional. For some of us been in this industry for quite some time, we do understand how integral, how critical our role as sterile processing professional plays in the lives of patients that comes every single day in a hospital for surgeries. So us coming together means a lot for the simple fact that we're getting back home to educate our people. When I say our people, a sterile processing professional back home, as to the best practices that will actually yield results in helping patients get their healing instead of going to hospital for surgeries and then coming back home with infections. So one of the goal or our role is to make sure we educate our people to ensure that the right thing is done during such processes.
Like I said, I'm a female, and you're the why you have all males.
We actually have two females.
Okay, so please next time get your act right. I have to see a female among you because it looks like masculine.
Yes, yes, yes. We
That
actually,
one,
we actually, you're right. You're
okay,
right.
so give it. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Alpha Omega Ado. Also, I am the
Wow,
vice
what a powerful
president
name.
of GASPPRO. And to buttress what my colleagues just said, we're trying to advocate for high standards of sterile processing back home. So what we've seen when we came back, we came here, we've seen a lot of advances when it comes to sterile processing. And based on that, what we do, we have the passion, the enthusiasm to do all this wonderful job that we're doing here. We're trying to bring whatever that we practice here to our mother country, but that is Ghana and Africa and diaspora.
Oh, okay.
The executive board member of this organization. And just to underscore what you asked them, our main objective or mission is advancing sterile processing, which is making sure that surgical instruments are really sterilized and advancing it into Ghana and Africa in general. Our aim is to make sure that we have the education out there so that those who don't know about it will be educated about it. We intend to advocate for proper sterile processing in Ghana, especially, and in Africa. And that is what we intend to do. And during the course of this discussion, you will hear more about it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
The main reason why we came out with this organization is that when they go back home, people go to surgeries and they never come back. They go to surgery, they come in and they get infections and they die. And this is exactly what we do over here in the United States. So we decided that to cut this death down a little bit, we have to take our expertise back home to make sure that what we do here, we did the same thing to reduce the type of death we are having there, which are all preventable. So our main aim is to go back home, do whatever we do best over here in the United States, and do the same thing over there to save the lives of the Ghanaians.
So far, how many members do you have in your organization?
At the moment, we have about 120 members here in the United States, and we have about I think 15.
Okay, so your members are they all work here in the Learners Hospital,
Yes.
or you reach out to other hospitals?
This is nationwide, all over the United States, but mostly from Chicago and New York.
Okay, so do you have any plans, future plans for reaching out for other sterilite professionals in other states?
Yeah, at the moment we have about 10 coming from Maryland and about 7 coming from Connecticut. So we are reaching out, and this is our first appearance. So by so doing,
Okay, so please hand over to the VP. And I wanted to ask you, where do you see yourself from now to 5 years to come? Because most organizations, initially we go, we do the inauguration and everything. In a few years, we can see, shaking. Where do you see this organization?
Actually, we're coming out very strong. And as I'm speaking right now, we have our website, which is really, really into place. It's out there. And from here, we'll be going out on social media and the FM stations to make sure that we sell the product of Central Sterile and its importance to Ghana and other Africa countries, like I said. So what we are trying to do is we put logistics together, and from here we'll be, after the inauguration, we will be visiting churches. We will be going to all of us here head one of the hospitals in New York. So we will use this opportunity that we will be visiting them. Intermittently, we will also be holding seminars that we will bring all these wonderful people and professionals together. So we have a long way to go. I mean, starting something for the first time is not easy, but I know for a fact that with the strong ambition that we have, we will go to places. And a year by now, our first year, we will see more of extension and more of progress in terms of we bringing the knowledge and education as to what we do.
because I'm a community advocate and activist. We have most of our youth on the streets and stuff. Do you have any plans reaching out for our people on the streets to get into this professionalism?
Thank you very much. I am an educator myself. I am a professor and a doctor too. So most of the time, many people think that this is a kind of job for ordinary people. No. When you look at the general outlook of Central Sterile, you see that many people from Ghana, when they come in here, some of them are college educated individuals, they come without no jobs. You will see that very soon people are transitioning from home care and housekeeping and other stuff into central processing. Our main objective is to send it back to Ghana, have our own school in Ghana, have advocates and get into the universities, and we can actually teach this in the universities. When you look at here, it started some years ago. People were not certified and they were doing it, and people were getting infection. Now it's all over. Policies out there. We're going to go to Parliament, talk to the policymakers, make sure that we're able to convince them to have policies in place that can actually help us help our hospitals. And not only that, to bring in the youth into central processing is one of the best fields we can ever have in hospital. And that is one of our objectives that we intend to do very soon in Ghana.
And
and
the
here.
same token, you're focusing in Ghana. I'm talking that in the United States here, we have some of our children that are kind of confused and doesn't know which direction to go. Do you have any plans for?
We do. I'm a finance. I did finance. I'm a finance manager, but still I'm doing central processing. The challenge that we face is that many people are not educated. They don't have the information out there. And that is exactly why we are having this inauguration. We are recruiting everybody into the field of SPD, and we are going to have meetings after this. And during that time, we have educators here. We're going to be educating them, especially most of us here are parents. We'll be talking to our children, those who are on the streets. And there are so many benefits that we intend to offer everyone so that we can come together as a team and in a group of one people, one nation for all, and build this profession.
Thank you. Let's hand it to our PR. As a leader of the National Ghana Foreign Council, my question to you is, do you or you can promise on behalf of your team that every year you will come out and support the Ghana Festival and showcase and introduce yourself to the public?
Absolutely, we can definitely do that. We can also use that avenue as a platform to educate the entire public about sterilization. So I think it is really good. As soon as, I mean, give us the extend the invitation to us, and we definitely make sure we appear.
Okay, so the final now, what do we have to expect? So give us some gist. What to expect today?
Um, we expect large number of people, even though our publicity was kind of a little bit on the low side because of the hardship in starting anything the first time. But today I'm expecting leaders from various hospitals, sterile processing department managers and directors in various hospitals to meet here to listen to what we have and then also make ourselves known to them so that they can reach out to us in time of need, that we are there. We want to be recognized.
Thank you very much, viewers. Like you see, we have said they have female in here, but I haven't seen them, so I can attest to it. But I'll make sure that I see the active women in. Oh, the mama right here. Your name, okay. So kindly introduce yourself and your position in the association or the organization you
Thank
have.
you very much. My name is Catherine Efriye Oti. I am the secretary and the director of membership.
Okay. So far, what do we have to expect here? The man has given us some intro and so forth. So, from your perspective, what do we have to expect?
From my perspective, it's gonna be very awesome. We're going to see great things today. We are very, very glad everybody was able to make it. We are making history today because this is the first organization that is doing something like this to Ghana. So we are very glad. So they should look forward to a great day today.
Okay. So I can see our sister right here. What's her name?
Julia.
Ah,
Manager.
Sister Julia. Sister Julia is one of the executives, right? If I'm correct. So, Sister Julia, tell us a little bit about why you joined. You find it important to join this organization.
This organization is the key of the hospital, so
Give
yeah,
us the up your voice. Your voice is so sweet and soft. Give us a loud voice, and because you're on screen, so we can hear your voice. So put a microphone, and we can get it. So the purpose of you joining this association or the organization.
because the organization on behalf of the hospital, so
Mm-hmm.
that's why I joined the program.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You join. That's all. That's
Yes.
so simple and nice. Very soft spoken. You can see that.
Yes.
She's not hyper like me, right? So I'll just clue you in. So as the program goes on, if I have any question, I'll reach out to you because I summon the men that I haven't seen the female and not knowing you are right there. So make sure that you recruit more females in there. We have the power, right?
I
Thank you
know.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, love you viewers. You see all the executives of the Ghana American Sterile Processing Professional, GASPPRO. That's their name. So soon you're going to see how the workshop will roll. This is Key Mama reporting from Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan. Thank you.
Secondly, we also want to help the people of Africa where we come from. Due to lack of improper sterilization, it has caused so many deaths and disablements among our people. But GASPPRO aim at providing a solution to all this problem. Yes, it is very monumental though, but a 1,000 miles journey always begins with a step. Little drops of water makes a mighty ocean. So the little effort that we are putting in here, I am among a few incurable optimists that GASPPRO will surely make an impact. Thank you very much.
Time frame of just 2 hours. Without wasting my time, I would like to call on somebody who means so much to me, who has encouraged me a lot, and even when I'm at fault, she's been very diplomatic with me. My one and only manager, whom I have learned so much from, to tell her about patient advocacy. Um, it doesn't follow the order of the program because some of the speakers have not arrived yet. So, shall we put our hands together for Miss Barbara Farrell? And since she's my personal boss, shall we put our hands together again?
Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? My name is Barbara Farrell. Currently, I work at St. John's Riverside Hospital. I'm a manager there for 2 years. And I would like to thank the members of GASPPRO for inviting me here today. I'm here to talk to you all today about patient advocacy. But first, I want to give you a little history about myself. I've been working in the healthcare field for over 20 years, with 16 years of that being in a hospital setting. Back in 2003, I was hired at Bellevue Hospital Center as a dialysis technician, biomed tech. And 8 years later, my department was purchased by a private vendor, and we were reassigned to new departments. I was then transferred to the Central Sterile Processing Department for the remaining 6 years at Bellevue. And that was my first introduction to Central Sterile. Prior to that, I, like many others, had no idea what goes on in the operating room. That they use instruments, but most of all, how or even if they were cleaned. To be honest, to have surgery, you just have surgery, but I didn't know what goes into it, what's behind the scenes. So today I want to talk to you all about patient advocacy and how that ties into Central Sterile. But first, let's define what a patient advocate does. A patient advocate is a patient representative. And you may say to yourself in Central Sterile, well, we don't work directly with patients. We only clean instruments. Well, first and foremost, a patient advocate is a patient representative and a patient liaison. It means that the advocate speaks for the patient. The Burroughs Institute states that there are 5 advocate roles in healthcare organizations. Number 1 is patient advocate. Number 2, information resource. Number 3, institutional change agent. Number 4, partner in collaboration between community and the organization. Thank you very much for coming out today and for being a patient advocate. And realize that every time you do something, you're doing it for that patient. It's okay to say no to someone that wants you to do something that it shouldn't be done. It's okay to not release a tray before the time is allowed. It's okay to tell the surgeon, no, I can't do that right now. That's not proper procedure. So thank you. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for having me here. And I wish you all a good day.
Everyone. My name is, I'm getting used to the doctor. So my name is Nelson. I work as, currently I work as an assistant professor at the City University of New York. I also work as an international development consultant. And I always, people ask me, what is international development? I would say it's really a jack of all trades when it comes to how government tries to improve social welfare. And so in line with what I do, the leadership of GASPPRO has asked me to reflect in 10 minutes on some of the possible economic benefits for advancing sterile processing in Ghana. And I think the Afif, yes, I think Afif has actually laid the ground for a compelling case for the health benefit of sterile processing. And so I think that gives a very good background for me to build on the policy implications of what we are celebrating here today. And to give the context to it, I just want to focus, I know from my little research on sterile processing that it is quite, it's a broad area. But I just want to focus on one aspect of what you do, which is on the specific issue of surgical care. Now, in 2014, as part of the agenda for the Sustainable Development Goals, which replace the Millennium Development Goals. Just to give a bit of context, the Millennium Development Goals, this was in 1999 when, at the turn of the 21st century, the UN General Assembly met and adopted a series of aspirations that they wanted all countries to aspire to. And so countries who adopted the MDGs were required to roll out different policy interventions to meet these goals. And it ranged from reducing poverty to promoting healthcare, promoting maternal healthcare, and others. The goals were tied to a 15-year project. And so in 2015, the UN and various international development organizations revised and incorporated new development goals, and that was what was subsequently called the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, one of the key aspects of the Sustainable Development Goals, unlike the MDGs, was that it coincided with a period when surgical care was actually taken off, because all of a sudden everyone realized that we were talking about promoting healthcare, promoting maternal healthcare, and avoiding infant mortality, and yet the underlying surgical dimensions were not catered for. And so a group of commissioners came together and formed what was subsequently called the diaspora and different skills that are available here to be able to help complement policy in Ghana and help fill those policy gaps that I have identified. So just to conclude, I would say that as a professor, your work to promote health and well-being of Ghanaians and Africa, or Africans in general, and as you move to forge a strong diaspora coalition to drive economic growth across the continent, I'll give you an A+ for a vision well conceived. But the vision is as important as how you roll it out. And so my wish and prayer for you is that as you go through the difficult journey of actualizing this vision, you will have a smooth and an efficient path to undertake. Thank you very much.
Big Ashik. I'm extremely sorry for that.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Afif Ashik. I am the leading practices expert for Brothel Healthcare and their regional director of operations, and their founder of the sterile processing division. I'm also Alpha's boss. So I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the importance of sterile processing and how it affects everyone in the world. Thank you, GASPPRO, for having me. Let's begin. One of my mission statements is to provide the highest level of service using a patient-centered approach to ensure infection prevention and positive patient outcomes. This is the mission statement that I use in my daily job, on all my presentations, and in our division. Some people might ask, what is sterile processing? What do we do? Central Sterile is the heart of the hospital. Without Central Sterile, surgery can't happen, procedures can't happen, patients can't get better. So we follow regulation standards, we follow manufacturer instructions first and foremost, right? Everyone knows that. But we are the first line of defense. We protect the patient from microorganisms, from bloodborne pathogens. We take our standardized cleaning, decontamination, high-level disinfection, sterilization practices. We take all those things and we assure that the patient is going to have a safe outcome. No, it doesn't get reported. But for those that do report, 34% of those 234 events were related to inadequate cleaning before sterilization. 34%. Let's explode that a little bit. In 2017, February, the CDC said 48 million surgical procedures were performed in the US. 48 million. Now, this is my math, okay? I did an average of how many trays are done per procedure. I'm not talking about total joints because, you know, total joints and spine surgeries, you get 20, 30 sets, right? But on average, you have 4 trays per procedure, right? That means that it's 192 million trays were processed. An average of 50 instruments per set, especially in New York where they have 50 to 100 instruments per set, right? 9.6 billion instruments processed. Okay? Now, out of that 34%, if we use the same math, 34%, 65 million trays are inadequately cleaned before sterilization. You don't have to believe me, you could do the math. Back 3 billion instruments that are possibly contaminated through the US. Not acceptable. This is why we're so important. This is some examples that I found. Like I said, I travel the US and I do audits and surveys at different facilities. You know that this is all bioburden. This was all found in a tray that I opened that was sterile. Bioburden, air, bioburden that looked like rust. Please note this is a magnified image. Okay.
All the four speakers, Ms. Barbara Farrell, Mr. Afik Ashik, Dr. Nelson Opon, we greatly appreciate your knowledge that you've shared with us. Now we will set the ball rolling. I believe that officially the program is about to start because we're waiting for the Consul General. So we'll call on Ms. Katrina.
To officially introduce to you the board members of GASPPRO. So for president, we have Mr. John Okansi. Executive Board Director, Justice Osei. Director of Education, Isaac Otu. Director of Communication, John Agla. Treasurer, we have Juliana Okansi. And last but not least, Secretary, we have Miss Catherine Oti. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shall we now call upon the Consul General to congratulate them, Mr. Afik and Ms. Barbara, Dr. Opon, you can join in, please.
Cast my mind where I'm coming from. I deem it really a pleasure. And if you should see, I'll use myself as an example, a yardstick. I used to live in a really hinterland. Those of you here, if I say hinterland, you know what I'm talking about. So to rise through the ranks to be in this auditorium and podium, I deem it really a pleasure. Your Excellency, Professor Amwakon, invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am very glad that GASPPRO today has been arranged. And I'll go overboard a little bit. I have a lot of people that I owe homage to. When I say I owe homage to, that they brought me to this far. And when we met in 2018 to bring a census of what we realizing today, when I think about it, it baffles my mind. So in 2018, we went to a conference at Arizona. Now we had in our mind that we were going to send Asian to Ghana. And that was amongst 5 of us: Isaac Agla, John Agla, Isaac Otu, Catherine Oti, and myself, and Mr. Abuachi, who is our doctor, only one doctor amongst us. Now, when we went to Arizona, the very day that we went, we decided to approach the president of Asia. Lo and behold, when we went, we said we have the interest of sending Central Sterile to Ghana. To slap our face with a strange, or let's say, I would say disappointment, he said, as we're speaking today, they have granted a certificate and audience ACM to Ghana community. Now, how are we going to see this wonderful person who did this? Because when we go to ACM conference, it's like 1,005 people. And you cannot identify or vividly say, okay, this is a Ghanaian, or actually I know Ghanaians sometimes we can use some way of identifying ourselves, but this is a very big program. I mean, people go back and forth, and how are we going to identify this person? So myself and John, we went to the platform, the information desk. We were like, can we talk to this person who is able to take ACM to Ghana? They said, well, the person is around, but we cannot, because of confidentiality, we cannot give his contact to you. And I quite remember I told John at the next seminar. Then I said, excuse me, can I talk to you? Now, there go my president. He has taken the lead already. Then his wife said, okay. So they came back and we sat down. I said, my name is Alpha. I was even stumbling. I'm like, my name is Alpha. And please, can I speak to you? He said, okay. And that is where this wonderful association started. Now, we started, it wasn't an easy path, but by the grace of God and Allah, today we are here. Now, I really, really cherish this profession, and I don't know how those of us here see this profession. And once again, I pay homage to my boss, Happy Peshe. And sometimes, as I'm speaking right now, I look like I'm speaking like he used to speak. And people usually say, Alpha, you are, okay, that is fine. But I like this profession so much that when we came together to take whatever that we are doing here to Ghana, I was really, really thrilled. Why? Somewhere last year, if we are following news trend back in Ghana, a lady died from plastic surgery. And I can not that I can testify, it's a fact. Probably they don't want to say the truth. But as we have America, that my boss, sometimes my boss will send me, Alpha, go here and do some assessment. And we are able to identify, this is a leading, powerful country. Even you go to some hospitals and you see the anomalies. What about our country, Ghana? Now, this ginger us, and we said, no, whatever we have come here to learn, no matter what it takes, we will take this technical know-how back to Ghana and help our country. Now, not only that, whatever that we're doing here to Ghana, we are going to make a change. Not only a change, but we are going to create jobs. Because, I don't know, but the last time that we visited Ghana a year ago, you could see, when you go to the hospitals, how do they process from decontamination? When I started this job, they used to say, we are washing utensils. Now, this job has become a technical and scientific oriented, that before even the chemicals and the reaction that takes place in terms of processing right from point of use to sterilization is purely science. Comrades, once again, I'm thrilled that today an organization is born and we are going to make a change and we are going to bring job and we will make sure the policies and the standardization that is being practiced back home. I know that as our consul, general consul is here, he is going to lift us up and he is going to sell the purpose of this organization. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alpha Omega Owusu Ado. Ladies and gentlemen, let's prepare ourselves for the keynote address. This man is somebody that I know very, very, very well. He's like a father to me. He holds a Bachelor of Arts, combined with honors in economics and political science from University of Ghana in 1973. Masters in Education Administration from Howard University, Washington. And he had that in the first one was 1973. The second one, that is Education Administration from Harvard University, Washington, D.C. in 1983. Doctorate in International Education, Financing from Teachers College, Columbia University, New York. And that one, he had it in 1986. Taught at LaGuardia Community College for 22 years. He rose from assistant professor to a full professor before retiring in 2008. He entered into politics and was elected to serve as MP for Ebuakwa North constituency from 2009 to 2013. He was appointed Ghana Consul General to New York in August 2017. At the point, I thought he was even going to run for president. Also, he was president of Achem Association of Ghana for 6 years and executive secretary of Ghana National Council of Ghanaian Association for 4 years. A Christian and a member of the Ghana United Methodist Church.
Thank you very much. Members of the board, fellow panel members, doctors, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings from the Ghana Permanent Mission to the United Nations and the Ghana Consulate General in New York, the latter of which I happen to have the privilege to head as the Consul General. The President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, was in New York to attend the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly. In fact, he left for Toronto, Canada this morning, and I just saw him off. And in a conversation with him, I mentioned that I was going to speak at the inauguration of this brand new Ghanaian Association of Health Professionals. He was very excited about it and sends his greetings. So, on behalf of the President of Ghana, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, I congratulate all members of the executive and also the members of this association on this your inauguration day. Mr. President and panel members, ladies and gentlemen, before I left New York in 2008 to do politics in Ghana, I was very much involved with the Ghanaian community. And as I was introduced, I served as the president of Achem Association of USA for 6 years, and also the Executive Secretary General of the National Council of Ghanaian Associations, NCOGA, for 4 years. At that time, associations were ethnic based. For example, we had the Asanteman Association, Kwauman Association, Zima Association, Ga Adangwe Association, Ever Association, and so on and so forth. When I came back in 2017 as the Consul General to New York, the whole fabric of Ghanaian associations had changed. I saw that the associations I left behind had lost their membership and their influence in the community. They had changed. However, they lost members to the churches, which is not a bad idea, because the churches took care of their spiritual needs as well as their social and cultural needs. In all this, the professional associations remained unchanged. The Doctors and Physicians Association still exists. The Lawyers Association exists. The Engineers and Architects Association also still exists. Various Ghanaian associations have also emerged since I left. The Ghana America Sterile Processing Association, or Sterile Processing Professionals, is one of such new associations. And I'm happy that it is not limited to only Ghanaians, as the name suggests. I'm happy that you've made plans to transfer your skills and extensive knowledge to Ghana. That is what the government of Ghana would encourage you to do. The government wants us to convert the old phenomenon of brain drain into a phenomenon of brain gain. The skills that we have acquired, sterilizing surgical and medical equipment and instruments, should be made available to the health personnel back home in Ghana. I believe your knowledge and skills are far superior and better than those of your counterparts in Ghana. I'm challenging you to establish a branch of this association in Ghana so that you can create the opportunity and pass on the new knowledge and the technical edge of performing your duties to Ghanaian youth at home. The government is asking you to bring your talents, your skills, your expertise, your knowledge, your experience, and your professionalism into Ghana. That is why in July this year, the second Diaspora Homecoming Summit was organized in Accra. The objective is to bring together professionals who have similar ambitions to form partnerships to establish their own businesses and practice in Ghana of African descent to visit the motherland, experience the Ghanaian hospitality, and also contribute to the development of the nation. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, it is easy to form an association, but sustaining and growing it is the difficult part. All members should support the executives and the president with your knowledge, your time, and your resources. If you were not elected a leader, you should not undermine and sabotage those elected, because one day you will be elected to inherit a stronger and better organization if you support them at this time. Mr. President, panel members, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to end here by once again congratulating you on your inauguration and wishing you growth and prosperity. Long live the Ghana America Sterile Processing Professionals. Long live Ghana, and may God bless us all. I thank you.
Excellency Professor Samuel Amwakun. One of my biggest
I think protocol requires that I perform a special technical duty, and that is, by the powers reposed in me as the representative of the President of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I declare that this association is duly inaugurated.
For making the time to come in here today. We want to thank Almighty God for making this day possible for us to have our inaugural shrine. It wasn't an easy journey, but thank God today we are here. And we give thanks to God, because if it hadn't been Him, we will all not be here today. So we want to say thank you so much for making the day possible for us. We want to say a very, very big thank you to Professor Samuel for making the time to come here today to grace the occasion. We know your schedule is really, really, really tight, but you took the time out of it and came out here to support us. Thank you so much. We want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Aviv, to Ms. Barbara, to Dr. Nelson. We want to say a very big thank you to all of you for coming out today to support us. And to our colleagues and our brothers and sisters, this day couldn't have been possible without you. We couldn't have come to sit here just like executives and say we are doing inauguration. So we want to say a very big thank you for coming out to support us and making today a history. Today has gone into the books of Ghana, and history has been made today. And it is with great and joy that I stand here today to say that we are happy that we are all gathered here and we can take something that we have learned here back home to help our country. That is the main purpose. I believe when you travel and go out, you learn something. You should be able to take it back home and impact your people. So I believe as we are all Ghanaians and we've learned the right thing to do here, we can all go home and help our people because that is our country. So we thank you all for coming out today, and God bless you all.
Hello, lovely viewers. You're watching GHL Media, and I have my sister right here. We're going to change the dialect. This time we're going home, real home. Nini aba akwaba?
Yeah, yeah.
Any idea na chuchu ba?
Mpachawo, my boss been there me ba and say, nah, I don't have like idea what they're doing, but me ba and who said we have something, and we have aim, we have dream, and yeah, to help our country and even our people too.
Now, Udie.
But I'm Medina Selena Ejari.
Now, see a chin over honey, a chum free him for no PA. Maybe I know a different association, be one as organization.
But me, Juma was St. John's Hospital and with Alpha Omega, my director.
Oh, until you are the same field?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, until a football band now, woman, a youth, no, and I say be obi per se, or bar mo call him, and I'm a more professionalism. A football band, any a crime band, so no, just a brief.
But a football, I'm a woman, my people, Ghana, even the whole African, we are here to work to get money, but say the idea see and this why and we helping people, we saving life. And you put to a medium and say, as you wahana ye we should pick a professional. I mean, it's going to help our people. Nothing so yabeko ye chrome no more who see ye besuya bibi. I didn't say ye besuya and son a beboa afro, a bed gini pankwa, a bed union, yen to your home for courses. I hold why ye no, yenya coursa, yen so bet me develop ye my Ghana MP African yena sabaya. Who see your 2 kwan yen 2 kwan keke. We didn't get to get money, but your 2 kwan say ya G your minus so kwan.
Medas.
Thank
We got you. But you know, what I feel in my heart is true. What you see in my eyes, is your cool. Totally, baby, I'm falling for you. In the head of my heart and body, baby girl, I wanna dance for you. Yeah.